Well, guys, 2-0. I don't think you can't take anything away from England. I don't think I've ever seen an Irish side that poor. I just don't know what they're doing in the first half. They just didn't. I mean, they got the ball, just kicking it out. Just the only way to do it was kick it out. They weren't even looking for players. They didn't have anyone up front. Their midfield wasn't fighting. Normally, you bloody play Ireland. They're going to, like the Scots, they're going to fight and chase, especially at home. But honestly, it was like a training session for the English players. I accept the English players have got much more quality, but it just was, it was so easy. And that's, it's not knocking the Irish at all. Irish are missing, they were just missing in the game. They didn't have, they didn't seem to have any aggression. They didn't seem to have any game plan. They had nothing up front. They didn't have any sort of guile. They had nothing. And it surprised me. I thought this was going to be a tough game for England. It's one of the easiest games I've ever seen. You can't say England didn't play well. You can't, because they all played well. There was one exception. The only person, I'm not saying he didn't play well, but he was invisible. And that was Harry Kane. He looked slow and lethargic. He wasn't playing really up front, and he came back into the midfield, was lost there. He had a couple of sort of half chances to get shots away, and he wasn't quick enough. And I just wonder, is it because he's not there anymore? Is he over the hill? I know that's, but listen, guys, this is not a knock. This is Harry Kane was really invisible today. He is not half the player he was 3 years ago. That's the only negative I can see on the game. You can lots of negatives, but lots of positives. You can't make anything from the game because Ireland was so poor. But the only thing I will say is that for a team that was so poor, Harry Kane didn't do a thing. I can't think of one thing that he did that was any good. Not in passing the ball. He didn't hold the ball up and pass it. Normally he does, comes back, gets the ball, holds play up, lays balls, over to the wings. He does something. But today he didn't do anything. He was just not involved in the game. That is a bit of a concern. And I know Watkins wasn't there to play because he's injured. But I don't know. I just wonder if Harry Kane hasn't got it anymore. It's the only thing that came out of that game for me. You couldn't see anything because Ireland was so poor. It was like a training session, wasn't it, guys? It really was. But we won 2-0. And we haven't, Finland, my God, that's going to... really. And, not, these are sort of no games, really, aren't they? And is it Greece after that? Blimey. Anyway, I don't want to say it was boring, but it did get boring in the end, didn't it? It was just so easy. Anyway, it's my take on it, like a training session. It was nice to see Gordon there. I'm not sure I'm still convinced yet because his speed's a little bit... He didn't have the speed to really go past the guy, but when he gets the ball, he goes direct. I quite like Gordon, actually, and I quite like the first half. Second half, he wasn't there. But man of the match... They gave it. What's that bloke they gave it to? What they give it to him for? Why? Because they had to give it, to the home team. That's stupid. Who was man of the match for me? Well, it wouldn't have gone to an Irish player because they were that poor. He was the outstanding player, but to me, the outstanding player, honestly, I think it was Rice. I do think it was Rice. He played all 90 minutes. He scored a goal. They tried to give him a bit of stick in physicality, etc. Yeah, I think he controlled that midfield. I really do. He was just nice and easy, relaxed. It was an easy game, though, wasn't it? But he was my man of the match. Anyway, Football Chat Uncensored, Reno talking. Keep going.